What up, everybody? This your boy Theo Pinson here. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss any Run Your Race content. What up, everybody? It's your boy Theo Pinson here again with another episode of Run Your Race with my boy, AJ Richardson.
Good morning, beautiful people.
Consistency is key, AJ.
You did.
Consistency is key, and it is not morning again. But people, we have a very special guest here today. Kentucky alum. I mean, we don't really mind Kentucky. They're blue blood. They do what they got to do. But Kentucky alum, Los Angeles Laker, my man, Jared Vanderbilt.
Hey, what's good, my boy?
Not much. I appreciate you coming on, brother. You've had one hell of a career so far.
Yeah.
You with La La Land, and you have a race that a lot of people don't really know about. A lot of people are just gonna find out about it here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been through a whole lot, and I think this podcast will bring out everything because, like I said, everybody's journey is different, and that's what we talk about here. Everybody's journey is different, and it does not matter what way you go, you can still get here. And that's what we like to talk about on Run Your Race. So we talk about from the beginning to the league. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into it. When'd you start? Where you from? Let's talk about all that. Where you from, and what got you into basketball, and when'd you start playing?
Man, from Houston, Texas. I've been playing basketball since I was 5. Really just came from a basketball family, so that's, I got 6 siblings, so
damn.
We come from a big family, so
I'm playing.
so we, what I'm saying, we playing pickup games from the start. So
3-on-3.
going against them. I'm the youngest, so I'm going against older brothers and sisters growing up. So that's kind of where I just got that mentality from just going against them. But I grew up playing all sports. I actually started playing, football, and then I went to basketball. So that's pretty much how I
You
started.
was nice in football? 'Cause I know Houston.
I was. Well, it's
Football.
Texas, so you got to play
You gotta-
football.
exactly.
So I started playing
Exactly.
football. I did track a little bit, and then I was just doing basketball at that time just for because it was fun. But once I got to a certain height, I kind of shut that football down. So it was straight basketball at that point. But,
Yeah, for sure.
but that's pretty much that's how I started. Yeah.
So, like you said, you from Texas. Were you good enough where you like, man, I think I'm gonna just stick with football, or was it just like you just end up growing and you was like, I'm gonna just play basketball?
Man, I was solid at football. I stopped playing like 8th grade. I didn't do high school, but by 8th grade, I almost hit like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
And by that time,
Shut it on down.
they start
going
chopping
in.
knees. I was like, it's over with.
This ain't for
I got
me.
chopped in the knee one time. I was like, it's over with. So that's when I really just did strictly basketball at that point. And then obviously I kept growing. So looked like I made the right decision. So
For sure.
Nice.
You
Nice.
damn sure did.
Yeah.
6'5" in the 8th grade?
Bruh,
Sure.
it's the same shit that happened to me. Motherfuckers was trying to go for the knees.
Oh yeah, I got chopped in the knee. It was over with.
I'm done.
It was over
I'm done.
with.
Ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
What's something that attracted you to basketball? Was it just the game, or did the whole family just play it, or something like that?
I mean, my family played it, but I just wanted to compete.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I grew up playing all type of sports, like, tennis, bowling, like, we did it all. So I just,
You was
it
out
was
there
just that,
trying shit.
it was just that competitive nature. Like, so
Yeah.
we just, and I kind of fell in love with basketball just because, obviously I was good at it, but that's where, the passion reside was basketball. And, growing up watching my family play basketball, just being around basketball. And, I grew up in Houston, so even just watching the Rockets, looking at T-Mac, T-Mac days, so that kind of just inspired me just to play basketball at that point. But yeah, I always figured basketball would be the route I end up with. But I feel like just at that age, just playing all sports, that shit it helped me
Tight.
translate to even basketball. So
For
I was
sure.
kind of just messing around with all type of sports at that age.
When was the time that you was like, it clicked? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be nice at this.
Man, I think I want to say 7th, 8th grade. When it was like a John Lucas camp. So at that point, nobody was ranked, and I was just kind of unknown at the time.
Yep.
And I've been hooping for fun. At that point, I was like hooping in the parks, in the crib. And I ended up connecting with John because he was in Houston. and he invited me out to the camp, and that's kind of when I went out there, competed, and shit, held my own, and at that point got ranked a little bit. So that's when I realized, like, shit, like, you can actually do something with this. So that's when it kind of clicked a little bit. Try to
So
top A grade.
high school basketball is like, all right, he was really that guy.
In the high school, yeah, that's when I was ended up getting ranked in, top 5, top 10, pretty much the whole high school. And that's when I realized I can really, go to the league and make a career out of this shit. So yeah, at that point after 8th grade, that's kind of skyrocketed a little bit.
For sure. So it's funny now that everybody sees Jared Vanderbilt on TV playing with the Lakers. You're a defensive guy. You just intangibles. You just get it done in all facets. But people don't understand. We gonna play the clips. We play the clips here. You got a statement. Which camera is his, huh? Right here?
Yeah.
If you got a statement you want people to know, you look in that camera, you let them know. But Vando back in the, not even back in the day, I know you still got it.
Yeah.
But you handled the rock.
Yeah.
You was damn near point guard.
So yeah, in high school I was definitely point guard. At that point, honestly, in high school I wasn't even a defender, to be honest.
No,
like, that shit kind of.
I wasn't guarding the damn thing.
I ain't played no defense in high school, to be honest. So it just kind of, that's how
you score and get the ball out.
Exactly. So at that point, obviously the way my careers went, I shaped it to being, because you got to adjust. NBA all about adjusting and finding your role. So, but yeah, coming up in high school and all through grade school, I was never really known as a defender. That wasn't my key. I was pretty much a offensive player. I played PG. I kind of just played everything at that point. So the defender role just kind of came from just adjusting and finding a role in the niche to make a career.
I know for me, I mean, we're pretty. How tall are you? 6'8"? 6'7", 6'8"?
Saying I'm like 6'11". I don't know. I don't know. That's what the streets saying. That's what the streets saying.
That's what they say.
Hey, listen. Cap.
That's what the streets saying. I'm just,
you know what?
I'm just the
messenger.
messenger.
On your race,
oh no,
we measured before he's 6'11".
Yeah, I'm like shit.
Grew up over the summer.
Oh no.
Nah, but it's crazy because for me, I'm 6'7", 6'8".
Cap.
No, so I grew up, I'm watching, for us, especially at our height, when we're at that age, coaches at AAU, they like, especially high school coaches too, they like, damn, you got somebody that tall that can handle the rock? Like, who was you watching when you grew up that like, okay, I'm gonna watch him a little bit more to model my game? Not really, like, model your game after and look up to a little bit. Who was the guy for you? Because me, personally, it was Magic Johnson. My dad had me watching Magic all the time. Like, it ain't many clips, but you saw a little bit.
Yeah. Nah, for me, it was really Penny. I grew up watching a lot of Penny and really like Lamar Odom. Those are two guys that I kind of was modeling my game out there at that time. Just big guards that can pretty much do everything with the rock, dribble, pass, shoot, like whatever. So those were two guys that I was kind of modeling my game at the time.
That's tough.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, Vando's a lefty.
Yeah.
Of course, he gonna pick somebody with a left hand.
Exactly. So that's
Lamar was nice.
Lamar was cold. He was nice.
He
was cold.
And he was a footer doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coming down.
Yeah.
That's a great comparison.
Exactly.
That's a great comparison.
That was one guy I was really looking at growing up.
For sure. What was it? So you being a guy that's always top 10, high school, always, everybody knew Jared Vanderbilt. What was a time where you like a wake-up call for you throughout your high school career or something?
Man, it probably was just the injuries. That's when I first got hurt, like my sophomore year. So I didn't even play like my sophomore or junior year. I was out. So that's when the injury started at that point. It was a little wake-up call, just realizing, how quick that shit could change. Just from being up there and, you get hurt. One day you top 10, you get dropped or whatever the case may be, the recruiting changes. But that was probably the first little wake-up call I had. Real just injury.
How did you handle like being in the spot like a top recruit? Like high school, like Theo tell you, we talk about it on this spot. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
#1 player and stuff like that.
Okay. Not the whole time. The #1, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That was the only one I couldn't handle. Everything else, I was like, shit, I'm chasing.
But how did you handle that? Like, I feel like that's a lot for a high schooler.
I mean, it was like motivation for me at the time, just because before that camp, I was pretty much no rank, nobody knew me at the point. So
Mhm.
from going from there to going to like top 10 like that fast, it was cool. Obviously, it was a lot of pressure. You know, it put a target on your back because, you know, not only I see it, everybody see that. They know you top 10 at
Yeah.
this point. So they bring a little target on your back. But me as a competitor, you know, I always like that.
Mhm.
And, you know, even the guys that was ahead of me, it just motivated me to keep, you know, trying to rise higher and stuff like that. So, I mean, I embraced it at the time. Uh, now I feel like it's a lot more crazy being like a coming up high school, being
Oh,
a top
yeah.
10 pick because it's so much
They
more social
superstars now.
media.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like they got 1 million followers now.
Yeah.
Like, you
Mhm.
know, we was still we was out there, but it wasn't from the social media standpoint,
Right.
media standpoint, it wasn't as crazy. So
For sure.
I couldn't imagine it now. But like I said, I embraced it at the time. It was cool.
Yeah, they celebrities now.
Yeah, they celebrities coming in
celebrities
middle
now.
school. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They getting paid. So it's like shit. It's a
Yeah.
whole different ball game now.
Couldn't imagine back. Oh boy, back
Yeah.
then
Crazy.
Listen.
we would have been collecting checks.
Man, what?
We would have been collecting
I
checks.
said I might have did an extra year in college. Yeah. We was getting them in our ear deals.
Man,
For
for
sure.
real, for real.
Who was the first school to hit you up?
First school.
Because we can't say when the school start hitting you up because we know you
Who
top
was the
10.
first school? I want to say it was local, so probably like U of H,
Uh-huh.
you know, TCU, pretty much Texas schools are like the first ones to reach out. And then, you know, as high school went on, then I got some of the
For sure. Big
top
dogs.
big dogs
Yeah,
came.
yeah, big
Yeah.
dogs.
Big
What,
dogs
so
came.
we all know what damn school you picked.
Yeah.
If anybody, for people who didn't know, my fault, Carolina. I fucked up. I tried to get Vando to the school. I was his host. He went to Kentucky. I was sick. I thought I did a good fucking job. I really did.
Hey, you held it down. I ain't gonna lie. You held it down.
Hey, listen.
Hey.
I was a great host, I
Hey,
thought.
you held it down. You
I
definitely
remember
did.
Coach brought me in. He's like, how'd it go? How'd you do? I said,
Yeah.
I think he coming.
Coach, he on the way.
Yeah.
He left some of his shit here.
Yeah.
We got the dorm room ready. Next thing you know, Jared Vanderbilt, Kentucky Wildcat. God!
Hey.
Credibility.
I can't say that probably was one of the best visits though. Like, and,
Appreciate that.
You know, UNC was, you know, it was a good setup. It was
For sure.
It was
For
dope.
sure.
Hubert was my
for
guy
sure.
at the time.
For
He
sure.
was real cool. So
What separated Kentucky from everybody else? What made you go there?
Really just, you know, what they had in place already, just, you know,
Yeah.
what we wanted to do or what I wanted to do, you know,
Mhm.
just going there. At that time I was thinking, you know,
Get to the league.
get to the league.
Mhm.
You know, my family was thinking the same. Like we, you know, couldn't wait at that point. So I was like, and then really was my mama made the decision. Like she thought I had too much fun at UNC. And she was like,
Really?
nah. She was like, I don't know if you gonna make it over there.
Damn
But
it.
they came in there so it really was the opposite.
Who knew fun
I had
would
a
be
great
the
time. I'm talking
day?
about, but it was like the opposite at Kentucky. Like she came, it was just
Locked
strict.
in.
Nothing happened. You know, they got the separate dorms.
Yeah.
So everything was just like, she's like, okay, yeah, I think that's probably where you need to go. Because we don't need you wilding out. So that's probably, so that really was the deciding factor, to be honest.
Damn.
So that's kind of where
You went too hard.
if it was up to me, shit,
I took the wrong approach.
Yeah.
Should have went in stern.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we're going to read a book.
No,
Yeah.
facts.
Go
We got
into the
curfews
gym.
and everything over here.
Hey, listen, end of the day, we had a
Yeah,
good time.
for sure.
I remember that visit to this day. That
For
was
sure.
a good time. But shit, Vando, you get to Kentucky, you choose Kentucky. Talk about when you first get there.
Mhm.
Everybody knows when you first get there, it is a rude awakening when you
Yes.
first get to college. What was
Yes.
your welcome to college moment?
Man, I would say them 6 a.m.s. Like that first, that summer
Everybody
came was
literally
just the 6
said
a.m.s. I'm like, man.
Because
Because I thought I was working. Like, you know, I worked. So I thought
Yeah.
I was working till I got to college. That's just a whole different ball game. Like,
Mhm.
we waking up at 6 a.m. doing lifts, sprints, and really before class. Then you still got to do class and come back in gym. So like
Yeah.
the schedule was just crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing about like Kentucky or the high majors. They prepare you for like the league and all that shit.
For
Like
sure.
going through that,
For sure.
going through the adversity and, you know, coming out the other side of that, like,
Mhm.
like when it got to the games, the shit was just so easy because we worked. Like we was competing, we was
You
going
only
at
did
it.
1 year, right?
Yeah, I did 1
You
year.
did 1 year.
Yeah.
You still KP was there, though, right?
Yeah, KP, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody to know
KP
Kenny
crazy
Payne.
ass.
the last name
Man,
means something. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah,
that motherfucker is something else, ain't he?
yeah, he had us going through it, but like at the time, you'd be like, man,
It
like,
built you.
yeah, but it built. You look back on it like, damn, like
I needed that.
Appreciate
we appreciate that. Like, I
Yeah.
still hit him to this day. I talked to him last week, like man, like that shit really make you who you is, and
For sure.
like it just make the game easier, make the approach easier, like just building that mentality at that age, like yeah.
And that's one
It was
thing I
dope.
love about this pod, because when we talk about it, when we talk about things like this, you look back on those certain moments and the things that you go
facts.
through out your whole career. You like, I dealt with Kenny Payne. This shit ain't
Ain't
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. Right? We got
You
to
know
the
what I'm
league.
saying?
I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
you-
this is
exactly.
we
Like,
good.
we went through hell in college.
I am beyond built
I'm
for
like,
this.
man,
You know
what?
what I'm saying? Like,
That's the beauty
and-
of going to like them type of schools. Like they just prepared you so much. That's why.
and you're around so much talent.
Yeah, you're around town. You're around like almost NBA caliber guys. Like
Because you were there. Who
exactly.
name
My
the
class, I had 8 of us made the league.
Yep.
It was Shai was our point guard.
Tyler. Was Tyler?
No, Tyler came the year after me. So
Year
it was
after you.
Shai. We had PJ Washington.
Yep.
Hamid Diallo.
Yeah.
Nick Richards. He in the league now. William Gabriel. Yeah, I think that's it. So I think it was 6 of us. So we going against NBA
Every day.
players every day.
Mhm.
So when it got to the games, like it was just it was easy for us.
Talk about the y'all have this like combine thing that y'all do every year. How was that?
Now the combine cool. Actually, I didn't even get to participate. So I
Because
was
you had to. You
I
had
had
the
I was
injury.
hurt. I was coming in, had my little foot
Talk
injuries.
about that. How was that mentally and just like it's pushing
Nah.
through that?
Yeah, no, it was tough. It definitely was a tough time. Like, you obviously coming into college, you geeked, you ready to play, and then like, I want to say, one or two practices, I popped my foot.
Yeah.
So
Fifth med.
yeah, fifth med. Yeah,
Been there.
yeah. Second practice, I'm
Yep,
sick.
been
So
done that.
going through that at that time, it's tough dealing with injuries, especially at that age. Like now, you can kind of like, you know what I'm saying, you can accept it a little better. But at
Exactly.
that age, just young, like just mentally, like just
Yeah.
going through those injuries at that time. So that really, I was out for the first, I want to say like 20 games. I missed the combine. I missed the first 20 games, and but I didn't let it derail me. Obviously, adversity, but I knew the main goal was still trying to get to that league that
sure.
year. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just kept pushing it through for real.
So before when you got there, you was like, I know I'm leaving after this.
I mean, I wouldn't say 100%, but that was the goal. Does
Yeah.
that mean I did what I was supposed to do?
Right.
And I
feel
came
that.
in with the right approach and I handled business. So that was the approach and the goal to leave after 1 year. But obviously, if that wasn't the case, like I still was cool with it too
Yeah,
at the
for
point.
sure.
But I just wanted to set that high goal and just be like, I handled business, did what I was supposed to do, and now I'm gone.
What was so when you got back, you got back during SEC play.
Mm-hmm.
You changed the damn team, damn near.
Yeah.
You changed the team. Your energy level coming in. I mean, Kyle even spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your best game? Like you was like, oh yeah, I can really play at this level and get to where I want to get to.
I would say the best game. I mean, honestly, the first game I played was, I want to say, South Carolina. That was my debut. I came out and I kind of just fit right in, just doing like I had talked to Cal like that week. He was like, man, we know you don't know no plays. Like, it's hard at that time. It's hard to just integrate somebody, into the lineup. Like we 20 games in.
Yeah.
So he was like, man, the thing that we missing that we need right now that you can help us with is just being toughness, being a dog, defending and rebounding. That's what he was missing. So he was like, man, we know you don't know a lot of plays or whatever, but that's what's gonna get you on the court. And that's what we need. That's what I kind of just. So at that time, that's when my defensive kind of. That's when it kind of started. So I'm like, okay, that's how I got on the court, and then that's really how I stayed on the court. So I kind of just. It honestly never left me after that point. So
for sure. Man, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Exactly, because I came in, the pitch was point forward, being able to bring the ball down, like stuff like that. But obviously, it didn't happen that way because adversity, injuries, all type of shit. So me being able to adjust is the reason why, like, I'm still around.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
Some you just got to adjust and adapt, and.
And it's
as far as being
crazy
a pro.
too. It's crazy too, because I'm just sitting here thinking like little shit like that you don't think about until now. You like, man, I would have tried to be, and not saying you wouldn't have been,
Mhm.
because you don't know, but like if that injury doesn't happen, you don't have that conversation with Kyle.
Oh, for
You
sure.
don't know how to adapt your game to another level where
Mhm.
like,
Facts.
how can I fit this team?
Mhm.
And now look at where it's got you. You know how to do that at the highest level now.
Exactly.
So now it don't matter what team you go to,
Mhm.
Jerry Vanderbilt is a plug and play guy,
Yeah.
Exactly.
regardless of whatever school, whatever organization he go to,
Yep.
and that just prolongs your career.
Exactly.
Just that little shit. So that, like I said, that's crazy. That
That's what it's about being a pro, man. Like
mm-hmm.
a lot of dudes that are just hella talented, but just they couldn't adapt to that role.
Can't
'Cause I ain't
adapt
gonna lie,
to the role.
it's tough though. You know,
Uh-huh.
obviously you
Yeah.
come from being a McDonald's All-American or averaging 20, 30 points, and now you know, confined into a
Trying to
role
find your niche.
or a niche. But
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing about it. Like you find your niche, you find your role, you gonna last longer in the league, man.
For sure.
Most
For sure.
importantly, though, I think it's more so like the maturity too, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
talk about how, like, where did you get that maturity and that mindset from? Was it family? Because I think a lot of guys at that
Mhm.
age
Mm.
don't have that mindset, and they be like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, fuck this shit. I'm that guy."
Nah,
Now you
facts.
that
It
guy out
definitely
the
it,
streets.
it definitely take a lot of maturity, man. But that's just, you know, coming up where I come from and having the people around me, bro. Like, you know, I was just built mentally for it. Obviously, some days I was like, man, fuck this
Yeah.
shit too. Like I can, you know what I'm saying? I can do
Yeah.
this too. But
Mhm.
I knew for the betterment, you know, of the team and the situation that I was in and where I wanted to go, I knew I had to, you know, sacrifice to look at the bigger pictures. Cause
Yep.
like, you know, you look at it where now, like, you know, that was what made me a pro. I'm able to adapt to any system, any role, and you know, being able to be a plug-in piece is so
Mhm.
valuable, and especially in today's league. Like being able to be interchangeable, do a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
and you know, you have your niche. Like everybody know what I'm doing every night or what I'm gonna bring to the table every night.
Mhm.
You know, and that's having that foundation.
Yeah.
I think you know at that age, you know, once the earlier you realize it and figure it out, it just make the rest of your career so smooth.
Mhm.
So,
And what I fuck with about your game and you as a player, I think it's more of like you get people get caught up in the stats. I'm like, yeah,
mhm,
like me and you, we kind of sort of the same as far as like we both can do a lot.
mhm,
We're capable of putting the ball on the floor, making plays, and doing shit like that. But at the end
facts.
of the day, we're more caught up in winning.
Mhm,
You're a winner. Like you caught up in whatever I got to do to be on the floor first and foremost, and whatever I got to do to win, I'm gonna do that
nah,
because
facts.
if we win,
Everybody
everybody get
happy.
taken care of.
Man, what?
You know what I'm saying? It
Everybody
don't
happy.
matter. Like
That's the mindset.
it's the mindset, and that is what uh prevails certain players than other guys. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what it ultimately comes down to, and I think that's one thing that helped you out a lot. It's still helping you to this day.
facts.
So you still at Kentucky. You playing your way to what you want to be, get to the league.
Mhm.
And what came into the decision of just leaving? I mean, you started a little late. You
Mhm.
didn't know what. I mean, of course, you asked or asked around to see what happened, but
Yeah.
what came to the decision of that?
Man, so I came back right before SEC play, mid SEC play.
Yep.
And then I hurt my foot again right before the
Mm-hmm.
SEC tournament. So I didn't even get to play March Madness, pro season, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, you know, I obviously gained this value and notoriety from playing those. I think I played 10 games.
Yeah.
But honestly, my foot was just, it wasn't right.
Yeah.
So at that point, man, the real reason I left was just I felt like I could just get better medical attention
Gotcha.
and at the NBA level,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and because that foot injury had been going on for like 3-4 years,
Yeah.
high school, college, and I'm just like, man. Uh, and at that point, I was playing through it. Like I played the whole year with a broken foot,
Yeah.
like, and I'm talking about after every practice, I'm icing and they're crying to sleep sometimes. Like it was that bad. Like foot was broke, but I was like at that point we was just trying to thug it out.
And it was
Yeah.
all fifth med
All
the
fifth
whole time,
med,
bro.
all fifth med
I've
the
been
whole
there,
time.
bro. It's like
It's just one of them nagging injuries, and it just be super sore. And
Did
the
you
type of
change
work,
shoes a lot?
huh?
You wore different shoes all the time?
Nah, I was trying to. I mean, growing like high school, I did, but college, I tried to stick to like 1 shoe, 2 shoes, just to like, just to keep it the same. Because switching shoes also mess with
That's
you
what did it.
or irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was it's a tough injury to have because it's just one of those like just nagging. You feel like you could play on it, but like the soreness after was just so crazy. So I was like, man, I was tired of just having that nagging injury. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna just go to the league and I'm gonna figure it out, get some medical attention, and figure it out.
For sure.
That makes sense.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you this: anybody who have fifth med injury, just get the longest screw you can damn get. First time, got a small screw, broke that motherfucker
Broke it
again.
Same
got
shit.
the longest screw. I ain't had a problem, knock on wood. I never had a problem since. So
no, facts.
Hey, at the end of the day, and like I said, I did the same shit in high school. Like, we was playing every damn circuit. We wearing Adidas, we wearing Nikes, I'm wearing Under Armours. Like, I'm switching so many shoes, and that's why nowadays you see dudes in the league, they find a shoe, you see them niggas, you see them motherfuckers wear it all year.
They staying with it.
I'm wearing the same shoe all year.
All year.
I said, shout out to PJ. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Every game.
Me, I got to keep. I found what was comfortable. I just kept Kobe's. I'm like, man,
for sure.
Let's switch the shoes. It's tough on the feet.
For sure. So you probably did no workouts.
I did 0 workouts. So night of draft night, I'm still on the boot. So I was, obviously throughout the whole year, my stock was going up and down. Like coming in, I was top 10. I was going down through 20, late first round, second round. So yeah, I didn't go through no workouts. I didn't talk to no teams. So at that point, I was just
there.
Yeah, I was just there. I'm talking about draft night. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at home. I'm still on the scooter. I still got 2 more months left before I can even walk.
What?
Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't even walk. So at that point, I just bet it on myself. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the league. We're gonna figure it out.
Figure that shit out.
I'm like, man, I just need to get in there.
Right.
At that point, I didn't care if it was, lottery, late first round, late second round. I just need to get in there because I knew what I can do once I get the opportunity and get in there. So at that point, I was like, I just got to get in.
Sheesh.
So you got drafted by
Denver.
Got drafted by Denver.
Second round.
Second round. Early though.
41.
Yeah, whatever.
Barely early.
Like you said, I just had to get in.
At that point, it didn't matter what number was called, man. I'm like, I just gotta get in.
Hey, I'm in.
Yeah,
Let's go.
The fact that you at the crib, not even walking.
Oh yeah, wasn't even walking.
You still got 2 months left, but then you got some NBA NBA treatment after that.
Exactly.
They just gonna be like, all right, listen, we're gonna take this thing head first, and we're gonna get you right.
Especially with them at the time, like there was no rush. They was already like a playoff team. Like they took me and Michael Porter.
Yeah.
We both was hurt for like the first year, pretty much. We still was hurt.
Yeah.
But they allowed us to lock in and do rehab because there wasn't no pressure like y'all need to come back because they was already
for sure.
it was already stacked. So
the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Facts.
Damn. So talk about that first year though. Just talk about like the rehab, just going in and just understanding like, okay, they're gonna be patient. I get to really get my foot right. And I got somebody who I'm going through it with.
Facts.
Like talk about just that and you just doing it with Mike.
Man, that shit made it so easy going through it with somebody.
Yeah.
So I had Michael Porter, he was coming off of his injury. And that year we got Isaiah Thomas. He had just came over. He had his hip injury. So we all going through it together. And I ain't gonna lie, going through them rehabs, I don't know if y'all ever had a major injury, but it's a motherfucker.
It's tough.
It's tough. So, just every day you gotta come trying to do the same thing just to get better. And it's a lot of like commitment and stuff to it. So having somebody there with us that was kind of like we on the same, same page, pushing each other. And, that's what made it a lot more smooth. But yeah, we was hurt that whole first year.
Damn.
Around that time, like what? I know injuries and stuff like that. And being an NBA player, you got a lot of downtime too. So you're rehabbing, you can't play. So after rehab, you just chilling. So what was some of those things to like help you keep your mindset still strong, positive, like just to make sure like, all right, I'm still doing this. What was some of those things or hobbies that you learned about yourself or you was able to do?
Man, was reading, or meditating, doing yoga, all type of stuff. Just because at that point you sitting there going crazy.
Facts.
You got just so much time. You can't do nothing. You can't move.
Yeah.
That's why I picked up on just like meditating, breathing, like stuff like that, just to kind of just to keep my mind right, keep my, keep me sane. Just
Yeah.
because
For sure.
it's so easy to go crazy and mentally just like
Check
out.
Yeah.
Just because like, bro, like depression start creeping in, anxiety, all that, because you just anxious to play. And especially it's my first year, I ain't made a name for myself. So it's
Right.
like,
Yeah. You still got to prove
I
yourself.
still
Yeah.
got to prove myself. So I'm over here like, how my career gonna play out. Am I gonna get a chance? Like I made the right decision to leave. All that shit play a factor. So just finding hobbies like just, really meditating, reading, praying.
Yeah.
Just trying to,
For sure. Because it's tough because what people don't really understand is like, all right, cool. You go into the gym, 9 o'clock, you in there, workout, you probably leave about 12, 1 o'clock. But then at that point, you got
You ain't got shit else to do all day.
nothing. Like it's not like, because at the end of the day, like you're hurt, so you can't go back to the gym
you
and
can't
be
do
like,
nothing.
oh, can we get another workout in?
Yeah.
No, like you're injured. You're trying to get back healthy.
Not facts.
You need that time period to heal and not re-aggravate it or inflammation or any of that shit. Because like I said, like it could take something little and that shit get re-aggravated.
Not
You gotta
facts.
start all the way back and over.
Not
And
facts.
then you pissed. So
Yeah,
that's big time for you to recognize that and talk about it, because people don't know. People don't see that. People don't understand that. Like, be like, you're making millions. And I'm like,
Health come first.
health,
Exactly.
Health
I'm
come
not
first.
healthy and I'm not doing something I love.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching these dudes do something I love, and you still got to prove yourself.
Exactly.
So that's tough. So that first year you get, not the first year, but the next year you start playing. You get back out there. Who's busting your ass?
Shit, my second year, I still ain't playing. So I ain't played my second year because we was deep again.
Yeah.
We had just picked up like Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
Still had Paul Millsap. Obviously Yoke, Mason Plumlee. So we were still deep at that point. So I still didn't crack the rotation at that point. But I ended up getting traded. That's when I got traded to Minnesota mid-year. But I only got to play like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Because the pandemic shut down.
Yeah.
So we shut down right before. So I still ain't really get the opportunity. I wasn't actually in the G League all year. So I came back and I played G League. I started off with
Denver don't have a G League.
Yeah, they didn't have a G League team. So I went to 4 different G League teams. I started off in Delaware. I think I played like 10 games there. Then I went over to RGV. And I had a whole G League experience my first year or 2 playing. And then I went to the Windy City Bulls. So within that 1 year and a half, I played on 3, 4 G League teams. So
talk about your mindset then. Just going from like how did you approach it?
Man, the G League is all about approach, bro. Like
all
you can either look at it like it's a demotion and you're gonna have the worst experience.
You'll have a terrible experience.
But if you looking at it like at that point, I ain't played basketball in like a year or 2.
You just happy to be
I
on
was
the
just
court.
happy to just be on the court.
For sure.
I was happy to be healthy.
Yeah.
And so I took advantage of it. I'm like, man, this is still me playing basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't taking this shit for granted no more.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, once I got on the court, I didn't matter where I was playing. And like I said, I played on 4 different cities, G League cities. So at that point, I didn't care where I was playing. I was happy to be healthy and be on the floor. But G League is an experience though, bro. Like it, going through the G and like I'll never, like my route and my journey, like I'll never, change it.
Yeah.
Because I went through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went from playing in the G to, getting traded, to being the 17-man, to being coming off the bench, to starting. So like I kind of went through every process, you know what I'm saying? So like, and that made me like shit, who I am today. So that's why, the G was great for me. It was able for me to showcase what I could do. And, I was able to showcase a lot of translatable shit.
Yeah.
Some people go to the G and just try to get off, which is cool, but did you have something that translate to the NBA game?
Yeah. Because we don't need you going there.
Exactly.
We got somebody who can
they already got somebody to do that. So what can you do to add value to this team right now? So I went in there with that mindset, like I'm gonna showcase what I can do and how I could bring value and prove why I should be, up on the main team.
100%.
That was my mindset.
That's big time. I'd say that all the time. Like It's all about approach. It's all about
it's mindset, man.
It's all about how you go into it, because at the end of the day, it's about reps. It's about getting that time, because at the end of the day, I'm sitting. I've been there too, as far as being in the G, and it's like, I want to hoop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I want to hoop, and being a part of something, like being in the game plan and being a part of the schemes, and be like, oh yeah, we gonna need you to play 30-some minutes. Like, you missed that. You know what I'm saying? When you get that back, it just brings more hunger. Like, okay, I get to hoop, and then when I get back up there, I'm gonna just try to do the same thing I'm doing here and just play basketball. So that's huge, the way you approach that. So you get traded to Minnesota. That's when you first got your opportunity.
Yeah, first opportunity in Minnesota. Then we had like 5 games. Actually, when I first got to Minnesota, I got sent down to the G League. So I played G League like 5 or 7 games with the G League affiliate. And, you know, I did what I had to do. I played well. Right when they called me up, I was supposed to play the next day. That's when they shut down the whole shit. I'm like, damn. It was going hard in the G. They called me up. They're like, we need you to play tomorrow. I think somebody had got COVID or something. I want to say a couple of our players got COVID, so they needed some bodies. So they just called me up, and I was getting ready to play, and I was actually about to start. It was the crazy part. I was about to start. And they was like, man, because a lot of people caught COVID. And then literally the next day, 2 days later, right before the game, they shut the whole league down. I'm like, damn.
Oh,
I got to wait for a whole another year for my NBA debut.
Sick as a dog.
I was sick.
Because Minnesota didn't go to the bubble.
Nah, we didn't even make the bubble. So we was at that time.
So now you just like
we was chilling for a whole year. Ain't do nothing.
So you basically did not play an NBA game for 3 years.
3 years, basically. Yeah, I was playing G League, and then I played maybe. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, I played obviously a couple of garbage minutes, but as far as playing an actual NBA game, nah, I ain't played that till my 3rd year, pretty much. So.
Year 3, is your foot back 100%? Or
yeah, my foot was back.
Okay.
Even like year 2, I was 100% good. I had no problems at the time, so that's when I was ready to, you know.
You was really ready to.
I was ready to go, ready to play.
Do you think you needed that whole year in Denver to get back right?
For sure. I think just for the discipline standpoint, just because, you know, I never really took the full time, the proper time to rehab. I was so rushing to get back. Like high school, I kind of rushed it because I wanted to get back real quick because I ain't understand the importance of, like, you know, that.
It's hard to tell a kid that.
Yeah, because it's like, man, at that point, I just want to hoop.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that. But you look going back and looking at it now, I'm like, man, I should have just sat down for them 6 months, 8 months, whatever, because it was more important to get it healed then than, you know.
For sure. But at the end of the day, like, you want to play in McDonald's.
Yeah, I wanted to play in McDonald's.
Like, you know what I'm
saying?
And
I actually got some opinions. They was like, man, we don't think you should play.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I got to play at McDonald's. Like, so I played.
That's an experience.
I played in McDonald's.
About that shit our whole life,
man, what? I was like, man, I got to play. So I played in the Hoop Summit. I played in all that.
Yep.
And the last game was the Jordan Brand game.
Yep.
That's the one I actually, I broke my foot. The last game. So I went through McDonald's, went through Hoop Summit, ended up playing Jordan Brand last game, and that's when I broke my foot going in. So I was like, man. But looking back, I mean, I don't regret it because I wanted the experience of doing all that.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, because everybody don't get that experience. So,
right.
But at that time, I wish I would have took the rehab process a lot more serious. Because when I got to Denver and got to the league, I'm like, man, I'm taking this serious. I was locked in, and I finally got it healed. Like, I didn't rush back. I didn't, wasn't still walking around when they was like, be on bed rest for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
I started taking it serious. Right. Exactly. I was like, bro, I'm gonna lock in and do it right this time because man, this a make or break.
And it's money on the line.
And I say it's money on the line. Man. Money on the line. And at that point, I hadn't got no money. Like I was, had a minimum contract at the time. So I'm like, man, like shit, I got to take advantage of this shit. So.
That's a fact.
And the longevity to stay in the league, because at the end of the day, you don't want those like lingering injuries.
Exactly. And one of those, that's a nagging injury that could be gone for your whole career.
Yep.
So I was like, man, let me take care of this because I don't want to have no more problems. And that's what I did.
I'm going to tell you this. The best ability in the NBA is availability.
Oh,
that's
facts. That's
the best ability you can have in the NBA.
That's a fact.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Theo Pinson here, and we have a huge announcement. We have officially partnered with Prize Picks. the daily fantasy sports game, the best one out there, and you can sign up in less than 60 seconds. It is that easy.
I'm going to tell you how easy it is. Head over and go download the Prize Picks app. You pick between 2 to 6 players, and this is a skill-based fantasy game. You only play against the Prize Picks projections. It's simple. You pick for more or less. The best part is you can make 25 times your money.
Just like AJ said, you can make 25 times your money. And also, Prize Picks offers discounts on Taco Tuesday and Flex Friday.
And it gets even easier. You can just use Apple Pay.
Prize Picks is matching up to $100 of your first deposit using our promo code RACE.
That means if you deposit $20, they'll match $20. If you deposit $100, they'll match $100.
Listen, Prize Picks do all types of sports. NFL, college football, MLB, and a lot more sports.
Go to prizepicks.com/race and use code RACE for a first deposit match up to $100.
All right, shit. Damn, Vando. 3 years, shit.
Mm-hmm.
You finally get your opportunity, your 4th year.
At that time, you a vet.
Yeah, basically. Vando, how you do this shit? Nigga, I don't know.
Man, they looking at me like I'm a vet because I done been on 2 teams.
Yeah.
You know, it's my 4th year, but really I haven't logged no NBA games, really, NBA minutes. So, so yeah, it went to like 3rd, 4th year where I really start playing for real. So at that point, like even now, like I'm 6 years, but I only really played 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 years. So like on paper, I'm probably a vet or close to it.
For sure.
But
shit. Who were your vets?
In Denver, my first year was IT. I was with IT.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Had Paul Millsap. It's cool. Will Barton. Those were, and then obviously Jokic, and he was emerging to be that guy, to be that leader at that point. So those are my vets over there. And then when I got to Minnesota, we had Ed Davis, James Johnson.
Shout out Ed, Carolina guy.
Ed is cool.
Ed is a unbelievable dude, bro.
Cool dude, real cool dude. So him and James Johnson were my 2 best. I was over there.
In Denver, did you know or did you see this would be the Jokic that we see right now?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Damn. I seen it day one. Like he was just
no hezo.
Yeah, he was just different, bro. Like, you know, once he realized how nice he was and the impact he could do, like when he was there, he was just always just super nice.
Yeah.
But you know, they were kind of pushing him like, bro, like go get MVP.
Yeah.
I remember Will Barton was like, bro, like go get MVP. Like you could do that shit. And once he got to realizing and feel like he could do that shit, it was over with at that point. But they always seen the flashes and like what he could do, what he's capable of.
It's crazy when you're like, granted, I know you wish you were on the floor, but you're watching it. You're watching it become to what it is now. And the fact that you saw the like the beginning stages of it, like, oh yeah.
But I say it all the time, like there's value in, you know, sitting on the bench. Like,
sure.
As opposed to just being thrown out in the mix. Obviously, you know, experience is the best, you know, teacher being out there, but being able to watch it.
Watching the game.
Like, because before I was there, like they wasn't a playoff team. So watching them turn it around, turn the system around, and, you know, me watching basically courtside every game, being able to see how this shit, how like, because people think that like they championship started like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like this shit been brewing like
for a minute.
You know, they've invested in that team. They got the same core.
Yeah.
So, you know, this shit ain't happened overnight with them. Like they actually, you know, built, and I was a part of it and watched it, how they built it from where they were then to how they are now. So, you know, being able to just watch it firsthand and learn firsthand, and I appreciate playing more now because I was able to, you know, start on the bench and being able to watch and learn from some key guys, some veteran guys, and you know that's valuable.
What's one of the biggest things you done learned just in your career so far, just playing with all these people that you done played with?
Man, the biggest thing is, I would just say the biggest thing is just, you know, finding your role. I know it's cliche, but finding your niche. Like, what could you do to impact the game, and just how could you impact winning? That's my whole biggest thing. Like, that's my mindset. How can I impact winning? How can I make a difference, make a change on this team, and what can I provide for this team? So, it took me a while to realize this is my call. This is what I'm gonna do. Obviously, you can still grow your game and work on it and get better each and every year, but you got to find that foundation. Like, what is it?
Yep.
And then my foundation I found was just rebounding, defense, energy, and bringing that night in and night out.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost invaluable because that's something you can control.
Yeah.
That's like in the NBA, it's a lot of shit you can't control.
Yeah.
But that's one of it that
And
you
every
control.
team need that.
Exactly. And
Every
it's
team need
valuable because every team need it. Because that shit's hard. It's a hard ass job.
It's hard as
To be the nigga that gotta come in and
You don't want
provide
guarding all
energy.
the nice.
Yeah, you guys guarding the best player every night, and you got to bring energy every single night.
Single night.
And that's tough. You play 82 games, but like it's gonna be some nights that
we're gonna get to it in a minute. But it's crazy you said that because I remember vividly right now, game 1, you're playing the Warriors. Your energy level, boom,
crazy.
You ready?
Yeah.
Game 2, I could tell you was a little tired.
Oh yeah, I was whipped out.
It's tight.
Because I mean, I'm chasing
Steph Curry all
I'm
night.
chasing them. I'm chasing
You know
them
what I'm saying?
around.
Like that's how
that's
people,
tough.
and that's what people don't realize, bro. Like, and that's why I love. I honestly do love this podcast shit because we get to open people's eyes of that shit. They don't understand. Like, you go from game 1 of chasing Steph Curry all night, but then they're like, Vando, we need you to chase Steph Curry, but we also need you to get on the boards, offensive boards.
Like,
and then I need you to pick up Steph full court. Oh, but Steph is the best conditioned athlete in the world.
Best condition. I think we ran like 3 miles. We ran like 3 miles that game. So I'm chasing Steph around. Obviously game 1 did a good job. Game 2, actually got hurt that second game. I think Moses Moody fell on my leg.
Oh shit!
So at that point, I'm a little hobbled, and I still got to chase him. So I'm like, Steph just nonstop moving,
nonstop.
And so it's a tough task. People don't realize like it's a tough task being the guy that got to chase somebody around all game. But
yeah, we're gonna get to. So I want to go back to Minnesota for a second. When you got, how did you handle the trade? Because like I said, you never got your opportunity that you would like in Denver. But like you said, you probably appreciate Denver for giving you that year of just like getting yourself right. So how did you handle the trade of being traded in Minnesota?
I mean, obviously I felt a little type of way just because I never got to even prove myself to be on the team. But obviously, I appreciate them. They took a risk on me when I wasn't even able to play at the time. So and allowed me to rehab and get healthy. And obviously being able to learn the game. And they taught me something on the court just as far as how to play and the system foundation that I still know to this day because of that. So it's always love going that way. But obviously as a player, competitor, you wanted to at least get the opportunity to play. And I never got that. And, I never even thought about getting traded at that time because, they were saying like, you're good, whoop-de-whoop. I actually got traded. We actually played a game and we had a back-to-back. So we was supposed to fly out and go to the airport. So I'm on the way, Denver airport, like an hour away.
Yeah,
so I'm damn near 35 minutes already here. Y'all could have told me this before I took the hike. But I get the call. He talking about like, I think you should come back to the arena real quick. I'm like, damn, we about to fly. He was like, sorry, he kind of suspected something was going on.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting traded that night, and we was out at 6 a.m. in the morning. It's crazy how fast the trade happened. So we out 6 a.m. the next morning.
Y'all logged this shit in last week?
I'm like, damn. Like literally, it's 11 p.m. after a game. We fly out the next morning, 6 a.m. going to Minnesota. I'm like, man, that's crazy. And then they had a game that night. The Minnesota played that night. So I'm like, damn, the turnaround just so fast. So you just got to up and just move, especially mid-season. So mid-season trades are just, obviously off-season trades are what it is. It's cool.
Yeah.
You get a chance to get situated.
Let it marinate.
Exactly. But mid-season trade, it's like, shit just happened like so quick. Like within 24 hours, you're on a whole other team, whole nother city. You got to learn a whole nother system.
Yeah.
And you damn near getting plugged in and playing that same day or next day.
Facts.
So
Facts.
That's definitely a lot going into it.
Is that when you realize, oh shit, this is a business?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
For sure. That's when I realized, man, it's a business.
Yeah.
This ain't college. College, you there, you with them for the whole year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was eye-opening, my first time being traded at that age. you know, it's kind of hard on some young players being able to gotta up and move and adapt and, you know, adjust to a whole nother city
Yeah.
in that short period of time. But that's what I say. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't change my journeys.
Oh,
how
for
it
sure.
went. So
For sure. How was your feeling when you first got your opportunity in Minnesota? Because shit, you was a staple.
mhm.
Like you ended up being a staple. You ended up being a bona fide starter. Like
Yeah.
we knew Vando was starting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So how was that just looking back full circle of what you've been through to get there? Like talk about that moment for you and your family. Because I know your brother too. Like
Mhm.
y'all so connected as a group. I
Mhm.
know for the whole family it had to be
Yeah.
big time for you.
Nah, it was dope because like they all knew what I was capable of doing. And I knew once I get my opportunity, like I wasn't gonna look back, like
Mm-hmm.
because I was prepared. Like I prepared myself for this opportunity. So, uh, and I actually got my first opportunity because of garbage minutes.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize the value in garbage minutes. You go out there and bullshit, but that's the time when they, you know, they evaluate you.
Yeah.
So I remember we was down. My first time I really got an opportunity, we was actually playing the Lakers, playing Brown and them. It was kind of garbage. We was down like 20 points. And they threw me in. I picked them up full court, got a steal, you know, was rebounding, you know, doing a little bit of everything. And they was like, okay. So that next game or two, I actually kind of cracked the rotation just because of that
Mm-hmm.
little garbage minute. So
Wow.
being able to just take advantage of every time you're on the court. And that's what I was doing, man, because I was like, bro, I ain't taking this shit for granted. I've sat out 3 years. Like when I get my opportunity, like I'm on full go.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And I really just never looked back.
This was up. I mean, shit. You cracked the rotation. You guarding the best guy. Who was the first person to bust your ass?
Damn, first person. Let me see. When I was in Minnesota,
Yeah.
who got at me? DeMar was tough. Because at that point I wasn't a super disciplined
Yeah.
defender. So I'm going for all the fakes. They like, stay down. I'm like, I ain't no jump. But the way he just pump fake it, so like looked like he really shooting it. So he got me. He got me in foul trouble. He cooked us that game for sure. I want to say DeMar probably. I can't really think of nobody else, but yeah.
What
DeMar was one of the ones.
What was the game you cooked? First game you cooked. He was like, oh yeah.
First game I cooked was had to be one of the first games. I think we played Memphis. I had like a double-double.
Damn.
It was one of the first couple games of the season. And, you know, we started off kind of rolling that year. So we started off good, and I was really had a good little stretch where I was playing good. So I would say,
it's really all you need.
Yeah.
My facts.
That's all you need.
You put a good stretch together. Your reputation get up there.
That's it.
Well, you was on that Minnesota team with Jimmy and all them?
No.
Okay.
I came the year after.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Jimmy had left before I got there. I was
Yeah.
there after, yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Sheesh.
I mean, like I said, you carved out a niche in Minnesota, and y'all had a lot of talent.
Mhm.
Y'all had some talent, but y'all definitely you could see it was up and coming.
Mhm.
But of course, you get traded again.
Thanks.
Let's talk about that. How'd you take that one? Because I don't think anybody saw that one coming.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't see it coming either because we came off a great year.
Exactly.
You know, we made the playoffs. We
Mhm.
was 6th seed at the time, or
Mhm.
7th seed, whatever. But we made the playoffs. We had a great year, and we had a good young core at that time.
Yeah.
You know, so
Talk
obviously,
about let's go ahead and get into that. I got to ask about it
yeah,
because that was definitely y'all when y'all beat the Clippers.
yeah.
And Pat Bev was standing on the damn.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Man. I mean, did y'all win a secret championship that I didn't know about?
Nah, I think Pat. Pat's just a competitive person, bro. So he set out that goal like, man, we gonna make the playoffs, and everybody was down. It's like
I fuck with his mentality.
yeah.
Though.
So that was just him. He was like, man, we gonna make the playoffs, and everybody like, nah, y'all ain't making no playoffs, man. Y'all ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And the fact that he said it and he came in there and set the tone by saying it, and we did it, made it happen. So it was just he's super passionate. So like the emotion just came out. Yeah. He's like, man, everybody doubted us. We ain't making the playoffs. So it wasn't so much about winning the game. It was more so really just about proving everybody wrong.
For sure.
And you know, Minnesota we went from like a non-playoff team. I think we won like maybe 20 games the year before or whatever.
Yeah.
So from doing that to turn around to a playoff team, I think that's really where all the celebration came from. It wasn't so much for the game.
It was a lot of those first time making the playoffs.
Yeah. It was. It's been a minute. But my thing is too, is like, I'll call it. Y'all smoked it.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all smoked it.
For sure.
Y'all had Memphis beat.
Yeah, we had them beat for sure. But I think that's where the experience came in. Like, you know,
I feel
we were just young and a little bit inexperienced because we couldn't, like, we had never, but outside of Pat, none of us have never really made the playoffs.
D-Lo was there for like a year. He played a year.
And they don't realize how valuable just playing a series like Memphis the year before they played that series, so they had a little bit more experience at the time. And because you look at every game, we was damn near up 15.
I was up 15 points.
20 almost every single game.
Every game.
But we just, we couldn't.
Relaxed. Would you feel like y'all relaxed, or was it like a...
It wasn't relaxed. It's just it's tough to close out games in the playoffs.
It is.
You don't realize it's tough to close out games.
Yeah.
So for us, it was just inexperience was kicking in. We didn't really know how to close a game. Like, we knew how to start. We started the game. We was throughout the game, but everything matters when it comes to them last 5 minutes or
5 minutes
end of the game.
Like,
like, every play matters.
Yes.
And at that point, I don't
whole
think
game.
No, literally.
In the playoffs.
Exactly. And at that point, I don't think we wasn't established Ant, he's obviously emerged to the player he is now.
Yeah.
But he was still young at the time. That was his first playoff run. So obviously, we still had Cat. So we were still trying to figure it out. Like, who's the guy? What are we getting to late in the game?
Yeah, facts.
And at that point, it was just a little bit lack of experience. But the talent was there for sure. I think we were more talented and could have,
for sure,
could have beat Memphis, but it was just inexperience at the time.
It's crazy. You look at it now, it's like you saw Jokic, and now he's in damn near the best player in the league. And now you were there with Ant.
Yeah.
He just got in the league, and now he emerging to be, I'm telling everybody, he about to be a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Not about to be. He is a motherfucker.
He is.
But he got a chance, bro.
He got it, bro. He got it.
Like, what is it with him that you see that separates him from most?
He just worked. Like, he just a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, on both ends. Like, he just a competitor, bro. Like, and he gets it now. The next step with him was just, being a leader and just taking that next step. This is
Minnesota's
my team.
his team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the problem that year. It was still like up in the air.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, man, this is my team. Now you could tell now he's like, man, this is my team.
This is my shit.
This is how it's gonna go. But he always been a dog on both ends and competitive, and he damn near got everything. He shoot, athletic as hell.
Yeah.
He defends.
People don't know he can guard.
And he can guard.
He sit down.
That's the thing. When he's locked in,
he sit down.
He can sit down because he's strong. He can move his feet, and he really locks up. So it's like the next step for him was just just to staying attentive and just staying locked in. But like when he decided to lock in and guard, like they can guard. So it's like that's why I said the sky's the limit for him. I ain't gonna lie. He got everything lined up to be one of those guys. So
he gonna get it. What's shit? Which McDaniels is it? What, Jalen?
Jaden. Yeah. The truth.
Hey, slept on.
Yeah.
The truth.
Slept on.
Most underrated, man.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Think about even him, like I was talking about Rowe, like he got a lot more to his game too. But obviously when they plugged him in, they wanted him to be the defender, which he can be, like he's elite. But he got more to his game, like he can put it on the floor, he can shoot it, he can. But the team structure didn't call for him to do that.
Exactly. And it's all timing because
it's all timing and situational because he can go to another team and probably average 15, 20 points.
We talked about this. We talked about, and like I said, I don't want people to think it's disrespect, but I said it a couple of weeks ago. Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
At Phoenix, what was he? Corner guy, shooter, defender. Went to BK, he boogieing.
Now that's his team.
And that's the same type of, like, I put Jaden on, was like Mikal.
Yeah.
Like, he was the defender for the team, but he can go to a different team and emerge and
Go
be
crazy.
and go crazy, be a star.
I
So
feel
it's
it.
all situational, you know,
For sure.
and what team you on and stuff like
For
that.
sure.
But
Vando,
he's a hooper.
you I mean, like I said, you've been on some teams and you get traded to Utah. Like I said, we got into it a little bit, but how'd you feel after that trade? Because like you said, y'all had a team that y'all come back, y'all run it back again. You got a core that, like, okay, we were whooping their ass and we smoked it. You know what I'm saying? So why would we not bring this team back? What was your mindset in that?
I mean, I thought for sure we was gonna at least run it back once, but
Yeah.
you know, at that time
It's a business.
it was a business, and we had got a new president GM.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
And you know, same one that came from Denver, so he actually traded me both times.
Yeah, God
Damn.
Yeah, so he traded me to Minnesota, then he got to Minnesota, and then traded me again to Utah. I'm like, damn, shit, personal.
Right.
I was like, what's going on?
Did I do something?
I'm like, man.
Cool.
He's like, yeah, I love you, but this, you know, it's all business. That's not, at that point, I hadn't been through a couple of trades. So
Yeah,
I
so
knew
it's like,
the
it is
side
what it
of
is.
You know, it wasn't nothing personal to it, but yeah, same GM traded me both times. So, but yeah, no, I thought we was at least gonna run it back once. We had a great team, and we were still young and hungry at the time, and we built some good chemistry. Like, everybody was like connected on that team.
For sure.
I think that's really why we got so far. We was on the same page, like just locked in.
Yeah.
So that summer trade, it kind of came by surprise a little bit, but I had a feeling, you know, we might get traded a little bit just because once they mentioned the Rudy or they wanted another big, I feel like to make it make sense, I knew
You knew you-
probably
yeah.
it was
Money
gonna
got to
be
make sense.
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yep.
I knew it was gonna probably have to make sense, especially with Cat wanted at that time. He said he wanted to play the 4,
Yeah.
so I knew, you know, he didn't want to play the 5 as much. So I knew they was gonna go after a big,
Facts.
most likely. So
Facts. It's tough.
yeah.
But shit, I mean, it was a short stint, but Utah took off.
Yeah.
Y'all took off early.
Nah, facts.
Like, I was like, are these motherfuckers
Yeah.
about to be nice?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, we was nice because the way we played, the system. You know, shout out to Will, the coach, but like he had just a great system for us.
Will
like,
Hardy, great dude.
Yeah, real good dude.
Great dude.
But it was a 4 out, 1 in type of system, or 5 out at some point.
Yeah.
Everybody could shoot, pass, dribble, drive, whatever.
Mhm.
And so it was just so hard to guard.
It was tough.
And we was really just the underdog. Nobody expected us to do nothing. So we came out, shit, I think we was 8-2 or some shit.
Y'all was
So we
playing
came
hard
out.
as shit.
Yeah, we just played hard.
Y'all
We played fast.
And y'all shot the shit
And we
out
just
the
shot the shit out the ball.
Them boys was out there flying.
So
And
yeah,
then
we was.
y'all beat Denver first game.
We beat Denver. We beat Minnesota. I think the Pelicans. So we beat our first 5 games. We had beat like all playoff teams at the time.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we was running that dudes at the beginning of the season. And then Mike went down for a little bit. And that's when we kind of, you know, trickled down.
Yeah.
But I don't think they wasn't expecting us to come out like that. Like, even the staff was
Front
like,
office like, slow the
they was like, slow down now. We was, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
We weren't trying to do all that.
Women Yama.
Yeah,
We got
Nah,
a
for
plan right
real.
now.
Hey, women
for real.
Yama.
They like, hold on.
What are we
man.
doing?
We got a
What is we
plan.
doing? Nah, for real.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, man.
But talk about that dude. Hey, listen, Lowry Marketing is
He
a
cold.
Beast.
dog.
Your dog. He's just so efficient.
Yeah.
And he don't need much. Like
He don't need
he don't
much
need
at
much,
all,
bro.
bruh.
He's to be like a star, all-star, like his usage rate is so low.
Yeah.
Like he don't need the ball that much, but he just find a way to make it happen. You
Yeah,
look
like-
up, he got 20 and 10.
Crazy.
Just off of
Just find me. I'm over here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just the pin downs, catch and shoot. And people
He's
don't
so
realize
smooth.
like he's 7 foot, but he's strong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he got bounce, like
Yeah.
damn near creative player. Like so Larry was a beast, man. So
Bro.
he was a big reason why we started off like that.
Yeah.
Just from him, you know, taking that next step.
Yeah.
So
That
yeah,
motherfucker,
You remind me of Dirk.
He can play.
yeah, he can play.
can play,
He
boy.
can really shoot it. Like
Mhm.
he a beast.
So damn, Vando, we might need to just say an extra prayer for you mid-season.
You said,
Shit.
man. The mid-season
Like,
trade, I'm like, damn, I
dang.
gotta
We about to just call it
we over here
Vando
fingers
season.
crossed, man.
Shit.
At this point, you can peep the energy
Yes.
mid-season. You like, all right, now. Okay.
Hey, listen.
You can see what's going on now.
Hey, you go to Vando crib. His shit's still in the suitcase.
Man, what?
I got to go
I still got stuff in storage from Denver.
I got to go back
Like,
just in
man,
case,
yo.
Vando, you signed a 3-year deal. I don't give a f***.
Man, what? I got stores I still ain't touched from Denver, Minnesota. It's like they moving stores to stores. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah,
Just want to be situated at least a little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
shit. Let me get settled in.
Yeah, that's part of it, man.
For
People
sure.
don't-
Hey, listen, you
that's
getting
part of
paid.
it, dog.
Hey, you have living a great life.
Exactly. Like,
But-
can't complain.
You go from Denver, cold as hell. Minnesota, cold as hell. Utah, cold as hell. But then you go to La La Land
Man.
Cali.
with
Ooh-wee.
that man,
Man.
King James.
First one.
Oh, the switch is flipped.
Man.
You go from Wembanyama to we got to win.
Exactly.
And the thing is, it's not even really we got to win. Y'all trying to get
Exactly. We was trying
back.
to catch up.
Y'all
Mhm.
on
We was trying to
catch-up
boost them
mode.
up. Yeah.
So talk about going to the Lakers. I mean, we had Danny on here recently, and he just talked about the fan base of Laker Nation is different. So y'all get there and y'all start winning. Talk about that feeling that y'all that
No, it's
y'all
crazy.
had.
I mean, they fan base is like no other fan base. Like even everywhere you go, it's just like it's a movie. Yeah, like it really is though. It ain't no other way to put it. But obviously the lights are brighter. You on TV every game. Like I think Utah, we only had like maybe a couple TV games. So damn near, now you playing every night on the biggest stage. So I would say, you know, it was just night and day coming from Utah.
Yeah.
And the approach was different just because like now we competing. Like I went from like we wasn't really trying to win at that point a little bit, but like, you know, they wasn't pushing winning. Now it's to almost like a championship or bust.
Yeah.
So like the whole approach just changed. And we ain't had no time to waste when we got traded. We was already in the hole.
Exactly.
So we got straight to it. So that whole approach is just a lot different. But yeah, playing for the Lakers is definitely like no other fan base for sure.
I feel like that's a learning experience too, because it's like the Lakers got a certain expectation.
For sure.
When you get traded there, you know it's an expectation.
It's from day one.
From day one.
Like,
fall in line.
You got to fall in line.
Or
sayonara.
Hey, you out of here.
Nah,
But
for
it's
real.
crazy though, bro. Like y'all start hooping.
Mhm.
Like y'all really start hooping. What was it that changed that whole mindset of the team? You let me know if I'm wrong. Y'all played us, Dallas, in Dallas.
Yeah.
We whooping y'all ass.
Yeah.
You come in and you change that whole game.
Yeah.
And y'all win.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like y'all took off after that.
Yeah, it definitely was. That game was definitely the turning point of like where we was at. Because I think y'all might have been a couple games ahead of us, but we knew we had to see y'all a couple times. So like, and at that point we had went on playing West Coast teams that was right in front of us. So we knew we was in must win mode for the rest of the season at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So that game really kind of solidified us and changed the hump. Or got us over the hump, even though Bron ended up getting hurt that game. It kind of, set us back a little bit. But but at that point, everything was clicking. Like to be down 20, we a fresh newly team, but for us to come together and come back from 20 points on a team like that, like we was like, okay, at that point, like shit, we knew we was something serious at that point. But
talk about playing with Bron and AD. Like, how's that?
Man, it's dope. Just being able to just, be around them and learn from them and watch how they approach the game and practice and everything. Like, and they just so efficient in what they do, on and off the court. So, having guys, they just make the game so much easier for you just because they just such high IQ, high level players that it made our jobs easier. Guys like me, Bees, everybody that came in, D-Lo, Rui, like we were like to play alongside them guys, and I think that's really what we took off because we damn near complimented what they needed at that time.
Yeah.
So, playing with them, they was pretty much just leading the way.
Yeah.
And, it's huge when, like, especially coming in mid-season for a team or the top players to, like, just kind of, like, accept you and, teach you.
Yeah.
And, they was there along with us through the way. And they made our transition just so much smooth.
Easier,
And we just started clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the team just started clicking like on and off the court. I think we was connected at that time, even though it was a short period of time. And that's really why we took off.
That's big time, bro.
It is.
Y'all get to the fucking playoffs and y'all just whooping ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, y'all play Memphis, y'all take off on them, y'all smacked up on them, and then talk about that Warriors series. We're gonna get into it. I mean, just the expectation is y'all going against the defending champs. What was the mindset going into that series?
Man, we're really just
find a way.
Just find a way to win. Like, we knew they defended champs. We knew, this is the series everybody wanted to see. Just because, Bron, Steph, and Warriors, Lakers, two of the biggest fan bases. So we were just trying to find a way to win.
Warriors fan right here. He's sick as a dog.
But we were just trying to find a way, man. We knew if we went in there and stole at least one of the first two games, that we'd be in good shape. So that was our mindset. At least, steal one of the games away, and then come back home and take care of business.
That's big time, bro. I mean, y'all did what y'all had to do. Y'all didn't play around, but at the end of the day, you ran into a team that was just a well-oiled machine.
For sure.
Like, these dudes, Denver was just on another level from everybody else.
Sure.
I mean, they, like you said, they built the foundation 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it was. Do you feel like, which game you think y'all should have got in Denver? Was it game? No, it was game one.
I think game two. I think we should have won, or that was the game that we was like we had the best chance to win.
Okay.
It was game two.
Got you.
And we felt like we obviously would have won that game. It would kind of shift the momentum, because all you really need to do is at least win one. Obviously, the goal is to win two, but if you win one and you go back home 1-1,
you just gotta take care
you're
of
in good
business.
shape. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of business at home. But we definitely felt like we should have won game two, and both games was close though. Like, even though we did get swept, but I think the whole series was still a competitive series. Like,
for sure.
It was all decided by a couple plays, just pretty much at the end of the game, and that was the deciding factor. And for them, they playing the same way all game. And they got so many options and versatility that and that's what it was. They stuck to the script the whole game. They was playing the same way.
And they star is so unselfish.
Yeah,
like, he's the best pass on the team.
Exactly.
Like, it's tough to guard. It's tough to guard.
Yeah, beast.
But shit, bro, it's one hell of a journey so far. We got a couple questions for you before we end this whole thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask him, AJ.
Shit, what we got?
Who got the deeper bag, Luka or Shai?
Man, Luka or Shai. I might be a little biased because Shai was my teammate, so
Hey, that's like my brother. So I mean,
okay, yeah, I'm a little biased. Both of their bags are super deep.
They both got bags.
Yeah, they both got bags. Let's clarify.
Now we both got bags.
Hey, you weren't saying that
initially.
You weren't saying that early.
I didn't say. I'm not gonna say Luka has a deep bag. I'm not gonna say he has a deep bag.
We got the clip.
Nah.
We will.
Does Luka even have a bag? Has he ever crossed anybody over?
No.
I did say that. I did say that.
We can play the clip, and we're gonna play the clip. You said it.
But
bro, I think him and Luka got like some of the deepest bags in the league, for sure.
Luka don't really got no bag.
Okay.
What?
Okay, gang. Get out of here.
He really got no bag. What are we saying is a bag?
Okay, so
what is a bag? Luka ain't coming down.
You don't score
boom,
60
boom.
and 20 with no bag.
I would say.
Has Luka ever crossed somebody?
What? Cause I'm trying to side with you.
I'm trying not to talk about it.
They say he has a deep, deep bag. My thing was Luka. He gonna use his body. He got crazy footwork.
Yeah.
So he getting the post. One of the
So
craziest.
footwork ain't considered a bag?
Nah, my bag is like he gonna break something. No, I don't think so. I think like a bag is more so like Shai. Like I think like he on the island.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
So Luka ain't getting off on the island.
I don't really see. Nah, he gonna back your ass down because he bigger than you.
Hey, you want to know somebody who guards him?
I didn't guard both of them.
Yeah,
they,
guard them, both of them.
They both got
motherfuckers.
bags for sure.
They both got bags though. Nah, Luka.
For sure, you ain't
Luka's still
getting
cold.
30, averaging 30 without a bag.
No, he cold.
Like,
Don't get it. Nah, I ain't saying that. Luka is cold.
This next question might be a little bit more biased too, because now you're La La Land, but you think they got the best fan base in the league?
Lakers for sure. I mean, especially compared to the teams it's just a big market.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's that's not really a basketball fan, like even just across the world. Like their first team, they know the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like even just for me walking around traveling this summer compared to last summer, it's like a lot more people know me just from being a Laker. You know what I'm saying? So like being a Laker just holds so much weight. Like it's a top fan base. So
For sure. Man, Vando, that was one hell of a pod, brother. We appreciate
yes,
you coming on.
My dog, I appreciate you.
Wish you a healthy year,
yes,
good
sir.
year. And we appreciate it, brother. We're
I
gonna be
really
seeing you some
appreciate
merch. Merch coming soon.
Yes, sir.
But like I said, y'all already know what to do. Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And that's another episode of Run Your Race, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
My dog. Appreciate you, gang. Yes, sir. Already.